Hey there, Bryson with Dimes for Dollars here. We're back again today with another 2-box penny hunt and fill. In our last episode, we went from 137 to 154, so a lot of progress made. We even got a semi-key date, 1924 Denver. And I've got the feeling these boxes are going to be the same as last hunt because we've got lots of enders. We've got 2 wheat penny enders in this box, one right here, and one from the 40s over here that we won't quite see. Now in box number 2, it's even better. We've got 5 enders. We got a 50s one here. We've got a couple on the reverse right there. And back here, there's another one. And check this one out. We've got a shiny Canadian. That's a young head scent. They're super cool. But let's get started. I'll bring you back in once I flip it over and see if we have any more finds on the other side. Well, upon flipping it over, we got one more ender, and it's going to be pretty clear if we can get it here. It's going to be a 1950 San Francisco. That's going to be way in the back here. So hopefully all these rolls are going to be pretty good. Let's get started, and I'll bring you in on our first find. Very first roll, and we're off to a hot start. We got a wheat penny here. 1946 San Francisco. Roll 2, and while we didn't get any wheat pennies, we did get 2 shiny copper cents from Canada. 1963 and a 1964. Roll 3, and we actually had a couple finds here. We had another shiny Canadian, 1964, who's actually an ender, but I put it aside to look for wheat pennies. We got 1946 San Francisco as well. And back here we got wheat cent number 3. And that one's going to be a 1948 Denver. Roll 4, and we have 4 more. We have a 1941 San Francisco. It's going to be our new oldest find. We also got a 1946 San Francisco. Couple pennies behind it. We got a 1957 Denver, and there's one at the back here. $1942 Philly. 4 wheat pennies to add. Just about doubled our finds so far, and we're just getting started. Roll 5, and we got 2 more, bringing our total to 9 wheat pennies now. We got a 1957 Denver, and just a few coins behind it, we got a 1952 San Francisco. Roll number 6 is going to bring us to double digits already. We got wheat penny number 10. And it is going to be a 1940 Philadelphia. And it takes the lead as the new oldest find. Roll number 7, and we're going to have 2 more wheat pennies here. One up front is going to be a 1958 Denver, and there's one back here. And that one's going to be a 1957 Denver. Roll 8, and we have 3 more finds. We got another shiny Canadian, 1964 Younghead. We got a 1954 Philadelphia. And back here we got one more. 1952 San Francisco. Roll number 9, and we got 2 more wheat pennies. First one is very corroded, but I did see a date, 1951 San Francisco. And yeah, the backside's just about as bad. Our other wheat penny back here, 1952 Denver. Roll 10, and we're already going to be at 17 wheat pennies. We got a 1953 San Francisco. Well, we had 2 rolls that had no wheat pennies, so I was starting to fear, but don't worry, we got 2 more this time. 1941 Denver, and back here we got another one, looking for number 19, 1942 Philly. Roll 16, and we have one more from the 50s, 1952 Denver. Roll 17, and we got 4 more this time. Up front we have a 1940 San Francisco. A couple back behind it, we got another one. This one is going to be a 1952 San Francisco. And we got two back-to-back back here. First one being a 1953 San Francisco. And the one right behind it being a 1951 San Francisco as well. Since we're doing so good, let's do this roll live and just see. I just got it started here. Still sealed though. Let's see what kind of goodies lie inside. I'll try to do it one-handed, see how well it works. And we'll just do a quick look through for anything old and wheat-like. Alright. Well, this is going to be a bit of a mess. And we got another shiny Canadian cent, 1964. That thing's a beauty. And we got a wheat penny. And we lost a wheat penny. Here it is. And that one's going to be in pretty tough shape, but I see 1945 Philadelphia. Awesome. Let's do one more live here while it's so good and see what we can find in that one. Alright, next roll doesn't have any enders as well. Let's see if we got any wheat pennies inside. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I can't quite tell on that one. Might have to look at it off camera. Just keep going through this though. See if anything else stands out. And there we go. We got another one. Let's see if we can focus here. And it looks to be from the 40s. And that one's going to be a 1945 Philadelphia. Alright. Nothing else really? Got a few inside here. Just check real quick. And yeah, we got one more. $19.50 Philly. Alright, let's get back to it. Roll 21, and we have 3 wheat pennies. And as far as that blue cent went, it's actually a Canadian 1992 cent. Not that you can really tell though. We also got a Young Head 1963, the first one that's not in pristine shape. But that's super cool. Let's get into these wheat pennies. We got a 1941 San Francisco. Back here we got a 53 San Francisco. And towards the back here, 1954, also San Francisco. Very next roll, 2 more wheat pennies to show for it. We got a 1944 Philadelphia. And back here, 1945 Philadelphia. Awesome, 2 more from the 40s. Very next roll, and we got 1 more from the 40s. And this time it's going to be a 1949 San Francisco. Definitely a nicer shape too. I'm glad to have it. 1 more for the board. Another roll, another 2 more wheat pennies to show for it. In the front here we have a 1945 Denver in pretty nice shape. Definitely a joy to see that. And back here we got 1 more. And this one's going to be a 1944 San Francisco. We're at the halfway point of box 1, and we got another wheat penny here. And that one's going to be a 1957 Denver. Roll 27, and we have our first non-Canadian foreign. We have Un Centésimo de Balboa. It's from Panama. And the date's going to be 1996. We also got another wheat penny. This one's going to be a 1946 San Francisco. Very next roll, and we got two more wheat pennies. One up front is going to be a 1952 San Francisco. And the one back here looks to be pretty worn. But it's only going to be a 1948 Denver. Definitely fooled me. Looked much older on the reverse, but I'll still take it. Add it up there with our other finds, and we'll get back to it. Roll 29, and we're already at wheat penny number 40. It's going to be a 1949 San Francisco. Well, roll number 30 is going to be a really good one here. We got four wheat pennies. 1945 Philadelphia. We got two pretty close together back here. Another 46 San Francisco. Another 1945 Philly. And in the back here, 1949 Philadelphia. Very next roll is going to have one more. And this one is going to be a 1950 San Francisco. Roll 32, and we have three more wheat pennies. We got a 1947 Philadelphia. A little bit further, we had a 1946 San Francisco. And towards the back, our third and final one for the roll, a 1957 Denver. Roll 33, and we got two more. Up front, we have a 1949 Denver. And towards the back here, a 1958 Denver. Very next roll, and we got one more. This one's going to be a 1946 San Francisco. Next roll, and sure enough, we got another wheat penny. Another one from the 40s, 1945 San Francisco. Roll 36, and we have three more wheat pennies here. First one is going to be a 1946 San Francisco. Up next, we have a 46 Philadelphia. And in the back here, we have a 1945 Philadelphia. Roll 39, and we have one more wheat penny. It's going to be a 1948 San Francisco. Roll number 40, and we got two more wheat pennies here. Up front, we have a 1941 Philadelphia, and a few coins behind, we've got another one, 1941 Philadelphia again. Two from the early 40s is definitely a good sight to see. 10 rolls left to go in box number 1. Roll 41, and we got one more to add to the collection here. 1944 San Francisco. Roll 43, and we got two more wheat pennies. Up front here, 1945 San Francisco. And in the middle, we got another one. And this one's going to be a 1946 Philly. Roll 46, and we have two more finds. One of them is going to be a pre-40s, our oldest one in the box, 1939 Philadelphia. Our other wheat penny in the box. And this 46th roll is going to be a 1946 San Francisco. Roll 47 is going to be an absolutely loaded roll. 5 wheat pennies. A couple of them really close together. 1951 San Francisco. We have a 51 Denver. Back in the back here, we got a 1944 San Francisco. We have a 54 San Francisco. And to wrap it up here, 1950 San Francisco. 5 more. Awesome. 3 more rolls left to go in box 1. Well, before we get into box number 2, I thought we'd do a quick wrap up on box 1 because it was a very, very good box. We got 1 Panama Centesimo de Balboa foreign coin and a bunch of Canadian coins, and you can see that one glimmering back there. That's a 64, and that is in really, really nice shape for a Canadian cent. We also got a total of 69 wheat pennies, ranging from 58 all the way back to 1939. That is really cool. I bet we'll find some spots that still need to be filled. This isn't coming through very good, but we got that 39 right there. We got 7 enders. I flipped this box over with all the wheat pennies, so you can see here we got a few 40s wheat penny enders right back there. We got one from 58 right there. We got a few scattered about. Bunch of nice wheat penny enders. Oh, and we also got that really nice Canadian cent as well, right on the end, so you know this box is going to be related. I love to see that. A lot of fun. I bet we'll break 100 wheat pennies. Fingers crossed we do. Well, let's get started. Well, upon processing the video, we found out it was too big for the processor, so part 2 is linked below in the comments in the video description.